Hey guys, I've been noticing that our audience has been growing a bit lately.
I didn't do it. I mean, nice. If only there was some way to show the fans our appreciation.
Ooh, I know. Free passes to see the Fantastic Four?
I think that would have the opposite effect.
Okay, how about free passes to not see the Fantastic Four?
Maybe think on that one a minute.
Wait, here's an idea. What if we do a live recording of our show?
But how would we get people to come see us?
I know.
No, John. No passes for the Fantastic Four.
Well, shoot, I'm out of ideas then.
Well, that's the easy part. The Philly Podcast Festival's in a few weeks. We can just do it there.
Brilliant! But what will we talk about?
We could.
John?
How about we invite a guest?
Even better. Is it free?
Completely, and it's at the Tattoo Mom on South Street, which has great food and drinks.
That's good, because we'll need them.
The Tattooed Moms?
No, the drinks.
Right, so if you're a fan of the show and you're in the greater Philadelphia area, please come down to join us at our live podcast at the Philadelphia Podfest. We will be performing on Saturday, August 29th at 6 p.m. We'll be joined by none other than comic book artist Mike Manley, creator of Darkhawk.
Hey, that means it'll be the three of us and a guest. We could be the FFF.
Really, John?
Welcome to the continued podcast adventures of three opinionated guys with mics and too much free time. Strong enough to stop a speeding movie rumor, more powerful than a bad comic book event, able to waste hours of time asking stupid questions to people who have better things to do. It's Dave, Ben, and John. It's Superhero Speak.
It was something stupid.
Okay.
Oh, that's
The rubber on the earbud was folded over the opening. Hey, that was better. For a
Wait,
minute. Now
I don't
the
have
rest-
rubber on my butt. What?
The rubber on my earbud folded over itself, and therefore no sound was coming through it.
I have a rubber butt? I don't know what's
Yes.
going on.
You have a rubber butt,
I
I
can
s-
see we are just as
and it's
together
covering my
as
ear,
always.
and that's why I couldn't hear anything. So if you take your ass off my ear, you can get this underway.
Hey everyone, you're listening to Superhero Speak, and I'm your host Dave.
And Ben,
And John.
Whoa, it's an OG hostful. Who saw that one coming?
Well, you
they
did.
came
You
straight
sent
out
the
of
email.
Compton, baby.
Oh
Oh,
no.
no. Don't step on
If
their
I-
coattails.
If I see one more straight out of whatever on Facebook, I'm going to scream.
Straight out of ideas. I think that's
Yes.
what I saw today. Hollywood straight out of ideas.
Straight out of the Philly suburbs.
Yes.
Because we're so
Yes.
street.
That we are.
Well, we're going to be straight out of South Philly in a couple weeks.
That is true. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. For those who don't know, and I'm sure you heard at the very beginning of the episode, our little ad we put together because we think we're funny. And
Until someone tells us otherwise,
Yes.
we won't listen then either.
no. Yes, on August 29th at 6 p.m. on South Street in South Philadelphia, there will be there's a podcast festival going on all day, but we'll be going on at 6 p.m.
Right, that's the only show that really matters to you guys, we know. There are a
Yes.
bunch of other podcasters broadcasting, but if you want to be awake and excited, you should come to ours.
Or excited. Not necessarily awake. Oh, wait. That's right, Bill Cosby canceled on us. So anyway,
Oh, and we're
We
back to
want to
Peter
have an
Bear.
audience.
Oh, boy.
Again, like we
Uh,
said, we think we're funny.
yes. No, but we also will have special guest Mike Manley again. Will be returning to the show and talking art, drinking beers, and you know what, people? Best of all, it's free.
Well, the beers aren't free.
And with Mike, it's also manly.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
We'll have the manliest show there.
hopefully.
Yeah, have you
I
read
was-
some
I was
of the
going for
names
the
of the
fun.
other shows?
I was going for the pun. Because
Alright.
Yes. Yeah, so come on out, have fun. You know, I mean, we have it advertised on our Facebook page and our Twitter, and there's even an event I created on Facebook, and I think I invited everyone from our Facebook page. So you know,
Yeah, definitely check it out. There are actually a lot of podcasts playing both Saturday and Sunday, and it's going 2 weekends in a row. And there are even some other podcasts in there that I listen to that are worthwhile. So it's a big thing, and you should
Right.
show the love.
And if anything, at least go to phillypodfest.com and look at the flyer and see who's going to be there. And you might be like, hey, I know those guys. And it'll be a reason to show up.
Right. As long as it's on Saturday at 6 p.m.
Exactly. Yes, plug. Sorry.
So what are we talking about today, Dave?
We're going to talk about, I think, D23, who just wrapped up this weekend.
Are we playing bingo here?
Yes, D23.
Is it some kind of mutant dodecahedron or something? Or
D23.
It's
D20.
It's the 23rd attempt at making an improved version of Deadpool, and it wasn't really that much better.
No. No, actually, it's funny. One of the things that's interesting about it, I believe, Ben, you made this prediction a while ago. We remember everyone was like, "Oh, Marvel's not going to be at Comic-Con this year." At least they weren't showing any movie stuff.
Well, Marvel wasn't there. There was Marvel-related things there, but not by Disney Marvel, because Disney Marvel backed out, and they were true to their word, and the rumors were true, and I think that. I call it a win-win.
A win-win?
Yes.
Why is that?
So basically, by Marvel not being there and dominating San Diego Comic-Con, it allowed DC to represent. It unfortunately allowed Fox to represent. But it allowed other partners, other people in the market to show their stuff without having to compete against the Disney Marvel machine. Meanwhile, Marvel can leverage the Disney machine and have their own thing to show off their stuff, and everybody's happy and everyone gets what they want.
Except for the people who watch the Fantastic Four trailers and stuff.
Well, nobody gets what they want when it comes to the Fantastic Four.
Apparently, no matter how many times you try, no matter how many reboots.
Yes.
What was interesting though, the Marvel movie panel that they had, concentrated on two movies, which obviously are the two that are coming out next year, which are Doctor Strange and Civil War.
Yes.
And what I found interesting is that with the Doctor Strange panel, they haven't filmed anything yet, and yet Benedict Cumberbatch still filmed a little intro to say to the people at the D23 Expo, "Oh, I'm sorry I'm not there. I wish I could be there, blah, blah." And then they went on and talked about Civil War. And I just found that interesting because it's like, I understand, there's a connecting with the fans kind of thing, but is it really necessary at this point? Maybe next year it would have been a bigger thing.
It's actually fairly... I mean, I see what you're saying because we're so used to, show us something or don't show us anything.
Right.
It's all or nothing, but it actually isn't that unprecedented what they did. Like in the past when they've had less produced content to show off, they have just had people come up on the stage, prior to last year and in other years in the past. So it fit with what they've done in the past.
Right. So then the video's online if people haven't watched. Well, not the whole video.
Right, there's some video.
It's very whittled down.
Yes.
Yes. And I can't remember who comes out first. Is it?
Well, Feige is on the stage first.
Oh, Feige's on the stage.
And
right.
Feige calls out, what's his face? Anthony Mackie.
Okay.
And then Anthony Mackie calls out, the big guns, both literally and figuratively, in the form of Chris Evans.
Yes. And he talks about playing the Human Torch and how he missed those. Oh wait, no.
Oh.
He talks about, of course, Civil War, and they showed the preview, and they didn't put it online.
No.
So for us that couldn't be there, all we have is a description.
Yes.
Yeah, there are no bootlegs yet either. You'll probably see one in a couple of days.
I'm sure they've popped up here and there and been quickly pulled back down. That's the way these things sort of go. Apparently, the actual official teaser trailer isn't actually set to release until November. Technically,
right?
But hopefully the fan outcry will get them to release it earlier than that. We shall see, though.
Well, yes. We'll have to see if Hydra makes another appearance this year.
Yes.
So the description that they have online is it starts off with footage of the Avengers fighting Crossbones, and of course. they're fighting, blah blah. Then there is a moment similar to the post-credit scene from Ant-Man. For those who haven't seen Ant-Man, I don't know why you haven't seen it yet. But there's the post-credit scene.
Dave.
What?
Because they're living under a rock.
Oh, okay. Post-credit scene in Ant-Man where Bucky is trapped in some kind of device, and Cap and Falcon are trying to get him out, and Falcon says, "I know a guy." Obviously, he's talking about Ant-Man. It's the first, and I don't know if we mentioned this before on the show. I read this afterwards. Is that this is the first bumper where they came out and said, no, that's actually a scene that's in Civil War.
Yeah.
So obviously that's what they did. Is they showed that scene in the trailer. And then let's see. Then of course there's a hint of the conflict between Iron Man and Cap, and I love this line, but it's not from the original comic.
Well, they can't follow the original comic. That's
I know.
impossible.
I know.
There was a flash of War Machine too, I think. I actually found my bootleg copy finally. Yay! I'm watching it right now.
It might not be real.
We don't know what John is talking about.
Right.
Yes.
So
I saw it somewhere.
But Tony says to Cap, sometimes I just want to punch you in your perfect teeth, which I like that line.
Yeah, it's funny.
Let's see, and then they said that next comes flashing images of all the different heroes.
Basically
there's Vision, Vision in street clothes, and what was that?
There's a flash of Scarlet Witch.
Oh, Black Panther. Yeah,
and various other characters. The one that strikes me though is they say there's Vision in street clothes, and I kind of want to see that because, like, even in street clothes, he does not have a very normal human-looking face.
No.
At least last we saw him, with the weird, Iron Man homage-esque skin tone.
Right, exactly. He's green and red.
Right. So yeah, I don't know what their plan there is. Presumably, because he changed color after he was born, maybe he can alter his color whenever he wants, like camouflage, and can turn his skin to look human, pink-ish.
That would be interesting. That would be an interesting thing to add to his character.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I mean, in today's world, if he's supposed to be the ultimate android, it would make sense that he could camouflage himself in some way.
Right.
It's not unprecedented technology in the Marvel world anyway. They have those cyber masks that they use, so
yeah.
It makes sense. And then, of course, they say that it ends with footage of Ant-Man geeking out after he meets Captain America. So,
of course he
will. And a shot of Colby Smulders.
Awesome. Oh, that's interesting. That means she was in Avengers.
She's like Coulson, except that the Avengers don't think she's dead, so she can still appear in the main thread too.
I still think I want to see Coulson come back on the big screen. Just, it doesn't have to be big. Just acknowledge that he's still out there.
I want to see Colby Smulders do something other than be a glorified, personal assistant. I want to see her kick some real ass. She should be able to.
Give her time. Well, the problem is that she typically kicks ass as a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., and right now S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't exactly exist.
Right.
At least not in its original form. So I don't know how they would have that work in this particular paradigm.
Make her Captain Marvel.
That'd be breaking. They played the canon a little bit loose, John, but not that loose. That's a little too loose.
But she would be awesome.
I have no doubt. But I'd like to see them. I'm sure there's plenty of people that could be equally as awesome as Captain Marvel.
Yes, and John Colby is not going to date you, so get over
it. Let Maria Hill be Maria Hill.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's the thing too, though. It speaking of not going with canon and whatnot is she never really had the opportunity to be the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. But again, they've essentially dismantled and made S.H.I.E.L.D. What's left of S.H.I.E.L.D. is clandestine.
Right.
So
led by our good friend.
Except that there's a shot of the Triskelion in this trailer that I'm not watching.
Well, the building still exists.
I mean, not the Triskelion, the Tricarrier. There is a shot of it.
But they sort of revealed that in Avengers too.
True. But
So it doesn't have to be a shield Triskelion. I mean, Tricarrier, or whatever the hell.
who else has a
Whatever the
Tricarrier?
heck it is.
They go down to Tricarriers R Us. Here, look, here's a good used one for a couple of $1 billion. I'm sure.
That's where I get mine.
All right, you have to also remember, John. There's a lot of fake trailers out there.
Yes.
No, this is a real one.
You keep telling yourself that, John.
Yes, John.
So D23.
So yes, and of course, now this is the other fascinating thing. The other news that came out of D23, that was mainly the stuff for
Marvel.
For the Marvel movies.
Hey, Superman's in this trailer. Cool.
So even though JJ went to San Diego Comic-Con and brought the whole cast with him, for Star Wars: The Force Awakens, they still had some stuff to reveal at D23 that they have that wasn't that exciting.
It keeps on giving.
It wasn't that exciting, but it was still pretty cool. They showed the first official poster.
Some of that stuff I would say was really exciting. And by the way, looking at that poster, I have an outlandish theory that Daisy Ridley, that's the actress's name or the character's name? I think that's the actress's name, right?
Yes.
That her character is the last of the Tusken Raiders.
What?
You never see them without their masks, so you really don't know what they look like underneath all that.
So they're all pretty girls under the
They could be.
outfits?
They very well could be. You have no idea.
That will completely change my opinion of the original Star Wars movies.
Little did you know that they were the Amazon.
They were actually all the slaves that escaped from Java, forming their own little feminine village.
So we've all seen the obviously the teasers at this point. The Chrome Stormtrooper.
Yeah, check out my Chrome.
It's a she.
Say that again.
It's a she.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's an interesting twist.
Well, the girls have to look different somehow, so they go with Chrome.
They go with Chrome. And it's what's her face from Game of Thrones is the actress, and
which actress from Game of Thrones? There are quite a few of them, actually.
The one that's in Star Wars.
The one that's in the Star Wars movie. Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clearing that up. Yes.
I'll have to. You're asking for on-the-spot information. By the way, you have the internet as well. I might point out.
I'm watching this trailer, and it's really, really cool. I just didn't know that Victoria Justice
How long
was in
is
it,
this
too.
trailer?
Victoria Justice is in it now?
Why do we have
be an
on the
awesome
show again?
I just want to know what you were drinking before you got on tonight, John.
What makes you
Water.
think you stopped?
I think, no, it's probably the
Gwendolyn
problem.
Christie.
I've only had water. I haven't opened the scotch. Maybe that's the problem. Hold on a second. I'm going to go get some Jack Daniels.
You overlooked the fact that there's the word fire in front of water on the bottle you're drinking.
Oh. It also says only to be used for cleaning.
Yes. So to answer your question, John, Gwendolyn Christie is the actress from Game of Thrones, and she was also had a small part in Hunger Games, who will be in The Force Awakens as Captain Phasma.
Yes, and do you know why her name is Captain Phasma?
Because she's phasmatastic. I have no idea. No.
Because J.J. Abrams, when they made the armor and it was chrome, he said it reminded him of the chrome ball from Phantasm.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So that he came up with the name Captain Phasma.
And for those of you that don't know, the chrome ball from Phantasm, pretty mean. Probably has a bigger body count than, like, Freddy. And if you don't know who Freddy is, just
go away.
Just
go away now.
Just look it up.
If you haven't seen Phantasm, go rent it after you listen to this podcast.
Yeah, it was actually very good. It's an off-the-wall, but very, very good horror movie from a while back.
The one thing, and you have the cast list in front of you, so I can't think of the guy's name. The one thing this poster reveals is that the one character who we see in the beginning in the Stormtrooper outfit, it reveals that he is a Jedi in the movie.
Yeah, that was the thing that surprised me a bit, because he's holding the lightsaber. Well, presumably that means he's a Jedi. Generally, they're the only ones who wield those. Them and Sith.
Generally.
generally speaking. I don't see why anyone should be able to wield a lightsaber. I would imagine it's just a weapon, but to avoid confusion, I'd imagine they will stick to, if they're showing him holding a lightsaber, probably a Jedi or a Sith.
I would hope so.
Are they in this trailer too?
Oh my God! Are you still watching that?
It's a very long trailer.
John.
I'm going to make a
Boyega.
suggestion so you can focus better. Maybe you should just turn off your computer.
Focus. Hey,
the actor's name is
Yes,
John
Boyega.
Boyega, and his character's name is Finn.
Daisy Ridley's character is Rey.
Yes.
Ray
So
or something.
yeah. Oh my God. Anyway. So yeah. I think that's, yeah, you're right. It's a reveal that he's the Jedi that will continue on. And not at D23, but it's worth mentioning a image of Mark Hamill in his Jedi lobes.
Lobes.
In his Jedi robe.
Gotta love those Jedi lobes.
He's a Ferengi now?
Yes, he's a Ferengi Jedi. Well, I mean, isn't that obvious with Yoda that there is that connection?
Was leaked online. And the original article that I clicked on to read it, this next day I went to look at it again, the image was taken down. But apparently if you look for it, you can easily find it. It's because of course the internet is forever.
Right.
In fact, I think they were talking about it on Hollywood Babylon today, and I think it's on their site. So, and it's not still from the film or anything. It's him like getting ready to shoot some scene. He's standing next to lights, and obviously with someone with their camera phone took his picture real quick.
Yeah.
But his robes are very reminiscent. They're almost an exact match for Obi-Wan Kenobi from the first Star Wars movie.
Are you saying that he stole his clothes?
I think he stole Obi-Wan's clothes, yes.
That's just so Obi-Wan, well, I guess in truth he wasn't using them anymore. He disappeared out of them.
Exactly.
So,
he didn't.
I was gonna make a joke about a naked corpse somewhere, but I figured there isn't one, so.
And you can't let good robes like that go to waste. I mean, you have to pick them up and, at least give them to Goodwill or.
You get to a society of this size, you got to know about reduce, reuse, recycle. I mean, it's.
Yes, JJ added a flashback scene in the movie where that was what we missed in the original, where you see Luke run back and grab the robes real quick and go, "I'm going to need these one day," and then run back to the Falcon.
No, wait, that's not how it happened. Was he was going to start running the ship, and Darth said, "Wait," and he threw him the robe. You might need this.
Hey, those things were 100%
some
cotton,
guy I don't know.
Well, think about it. If they weren't 100% cotton, he wouldn't have survived in them on Tatooine, right?
True.
It's hot there.
Yeah.
They have to breathe. Wear something that breathes.
No,
yes.
I think it was wool. It was bantha wool.
Well, no wonder nothing came near him. They could smell him before they saw him.
Very much so.
Yes, exactly, guys. I'm glad you know this. So they're in that panel. They revealed the poster, and of course, the Ridley, John, and Harrison Ford came out and made comments about being happy to be back doing the movie, and he loves the fans. Very contrary to some of the things he has said in the past about the Star Wars movies.
Well, that's because Lucas isn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, in all
Finally.
seriousness, I think Harrison Ford's biggest problem would have been having to emote in front of a green screen trying to imagine Jar Jar Binks.
Oh God. Don't even make me think about that. I think I read somewhere recently, actually, that J.J. Abrams said that that he really, really doesn't like the prequel series. That he really hates them.
Well, we'll find that out because if the first scene of the first movie is the planet that Jar Jar is from blowing up from a new Death Star, that's...
No, I'll do you one better, John. He has actually said in I heard this. Someone tweeted something about this. That he was in the middle of doing a set setup on one of these desert scenes, and he was telling one of the set directors, like, I was thinking of putting a skeleton of Jar Jar Binks over there in the sand. And everyone thought that was hilarious. He's like, you laugh, but I'm not kidding. And the fans will pick up on it.
Oh, yes, and they will rejoice.
Yes, they will.
Yes, but I think it's in the contract. They're not allowed to make fun of Jar Jar.
Well, it's not making fun of him. It's just explaining his fate.
Oh, there you go. All right. Do the Gungan ears have bones in them?
They might have some support bones in them, like
All right.
sort of like fish fins.
You'd be able to tell by the massive bone right where the brain would normally be. There won't be any cavity there.
Yeah. Oh man. Did you ever hear? This was recently revealed that Michael Jackson wanted to play Jar Jar.
Oh God.
Why would anyone want to do that?
Why would you have a cartoon play a cartoon?
Yeah.
But the thing was,
the list of things I've heard that Michael Jackson wanted to play, though. Like, didn't he also want to be, what else did he want to do? Oh, he wanted to be Spider-Man, that's right.
But he didn't want to do Jar Jar like CGI and he just does the voice. He wanted to put makeup on and be an alien.
The head shapes are similar.
I don't think he needed any makeup to make him look like an alien.
But what had happened was, because it was the actor who did the voice for Jar Jar recently revealed this, that before they, he had heard something about Michael Jackson wanted to do the movie, and then they cast him to play Jar Jar, and they went to a party, and Michael Jackson was there, and George Lucas introduced him to Michael as Jar Jar Binks, and he thought, oh, that's kind of weird, and it was like, no, that was George Lucas's way of saying, like, yeah, no, you didn't get the role.
Jesus, that's couth.
Yes. Apparently, Lucas thought having a star like Michael Jackson in the movie would overpower and take away from it.
Those of you out there, just say, we mean this with the greatest respect to the King of Pop, but I think that movie would have brought him down. I think his image would have suffered from the movie.
You're probably right on that. Yes. Oh, and then the other news about The Force Awakens is for all of our gaming fans out there. I know you're all anxious about Star Wars Battlefront coming out very soon. They also announced at D23 that one of the very first DLCs that they're going to have for it is going to be a direct expansion related to The Force Awakens. So they're even including it in the games already.
That's smart.
You think?
Well, yeah, no, that's freaking smart. Now, if they would only put out merchandise with freaking Black Widow on it.
Well, we're not going to get into that right now.
Are they going to leave the Scarlet Witch out of every? I mean,
I wouldn't say everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just, mostly everything.
They're gonna leave the female lead in the movies out of this. I mean, it's even my daughter has noticed, for crying out loud.
I did notice that someone did point this out, that not only haven't they made Black Widow figures, they haven't made Hawkeye figures, and there haven't been any Scarlet Witch or Quicksilver figures from the Avengers 2. So I don't know what's going on with that. Did we lose Ben? I think we lost Ben.
Oh, Ben, come back. We're for.
Hello.
Welcome back, Ben.
Okay, I just saw your icon. You can go back away now.
I just said, I think we lost Ben. So you missed, I guess, the whole conversation that John and I just had.
Yeah, it's not, my network sort of dropped me off for some reason. It barfed on me.
Super speak and technical difficulties. It's like peanut butter and more peanut butter.
And gravy.
Peanut butter and gravy.
Yes.
So we had said that, yes, the first DLC is going to be direct tie-in to The Force Awakens. Did you hear that much?
I did not hear that much, no. But I did read about that, so I'm caught up.
Wait, I missed that too.
So
and John said it was a great idea.
I did?
So it's
Wow.
the battle of Jakku. Yeah, Jakku, which is that sandy planet they show in the trailers.
Yes, yes. Uh,
So we get to see
yeah, see?
how the starfighter or whatever crashes into the planet. Maybe
Right, right. Yes, see? Right.
Along with the Star Destroyer.
that whatever that
Well,
thing was.
Star
Big
Destroyer.
ship,
Yeah.
sand, that thing.
Yes. And in front of it was an X-Wing, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I think it was an X-Wing.
Right, which is what
Yes.
is pictured in the concept art, is the X-Wing embedded in the ground.
Right,
They-
and stormtroopers shooting over it. I find
There's
it weird that the stormtroopers are using the X-wing as cover.
Yeah.
True, true. It's funny. It has made me think. Like in the original movies, the ships would just blow up, but the big ships had to, if they were fighting over a planet, the entire ship couldn't just blow up. The parts of it had to crash somewhere.
Right. Even if it did have huge explosions that caused it to no longer be functional, the remains of it have to go somewhere if they're not just going to float in space. There's
Right, and
there's always
especially-
gravity.
Right,
No matter where you
exactly.
are, there's always gravity from somewhere.
Yes. So it's actually a logical evolution of the franchise, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, so that should be cool for all our gaming fans out there. That once you get your Battlefront, you're gonna grab your DLC. And apparently John said that's cool, but he complained about there being no Black Widow figures. I don't know.
That is a problem, but it's not related to this conversation. So
No.
Well,
But that's
they're
'cause
going to have
she's
a female Jedi, and they'll probably leave her out too.
no, they actually had a reveal at D23 for the first couple characters for Star Wars Disney Infinity 3 were Rey and can't remember his name already, Finn, from Star Wars. So
Okay, but
they unveiled their characters on stage.
But is she on a cereal box?
Oh my god.
The movie's not out yet, John.
Also,
She may well end up on cereal boxes. On
also speaking
on Tuscan Raidos.
speaking of toys, there was leaked action figure pictures that were released, and yes, Finn and what's her name?
Rey.
And
God.
Captain the Captain Phantos all have figures. So
Phasma. Captain
Phasma,
Phasma.
sorry. Yes. They all have figures. So John, you stop
Oh, they have
worrying
figures,
about
all right. Oh wait, did I say that aloud?
Yeah.
So, both the main females from the movie will have action figures. Hey, you know what?
Sure, they appreciate being referred to as main females.
Well, hold on. For years, the complaint was there was only one female in the Star Wars movies,
Right.
in the entire universe. And then they brought in a minor female character in the prequel. Now we have two.
Who they killed off.
One's a villain, and one's a hero in the new movie. So it took 30 plus years, but we progressed a little bit.
Right.
Yes.
The only two other things I want to see in these movies are
Because we finally have a woman
What?
at the helm. Oh wait, that's not true.
Yeah. I want to
Is
see
yourself? Yourself?
funny. I want to see planets that have more than one biome on them. Because the idea that every planet is only going to be one thing, it's either a jungle or
Hold
poppies
on, I have a
or whatever.
sneeze coming. Naboo!
Yeah. And I want to see real space battles, like they did in Babylon 5, where
You mean ones with no sound where things don't explode?
well, I like the explosions. I have to say that. But what you really want to see is you want to see like a TIE fighter chasing after an X-Wing and have the X-Wing just turn around, continuing on its trajectory because, hey, you're in space, and
Right,
firing
physics.
straight back at the TIE fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of things, was it Michael Straczynski did real nice, realistic space battles in Babylon 5, and they were awesome.
And well funded.
Yes.
What, you're
So
saying
you want to
this
take
isn't?
away the
I was making a joke about... No, this is, yes. That probably wasn't. I'm making an argument for
Uh-oh.
I knew it. I thought I was the only one.
you, John.
You faded in and out, man. My computer must have been afraid of what you were saying to me.
I must have a new filter set up for you, Dave. As soon as you start saying something that's gonna tick me off, I hear silence. I'm surprised I hear you at all, really.
Oh, nice.
And we were saying that you were the one that was cutting in and out.
Wasn't saying anything at that moment.
No, you were making the joke about Babylon 5 being well funded.
Right, which was a sarcastic joke because Star Wars is going to be much more well funded and better technology available to it. So yes, I agree. They should have realism and coolness to the battles, and hopefully, J.J. Abrams pulls it off without being too liberal with lens flares.
Yes. Yeah.
The entire third act, nothing but lens flares.
Yeah, you know it's going to be bad when instead of 3D glasses, they hand out sunglasses at the theaters. Yeah.
Yes.
We want you to feel the lens flares. You laugh, but you know that's his plan.
Here's your sunglasses and your SPF 30. Have a fun movie.
Wow, you got terrible sunburn and it's December. Yeah, I just saw the new Star Wars movie. Oh, okay.
Twice? No, just one.
No, twice. Yeah. For that, you get one of those little radiation badges.
Yes. Here's your sunglasses and your lead vest.
You're not planning to have children, right?
Not anymore.
Yes. So I think that's we beat that movie to death.
Yes. But there are other things related to that, to the Disney relative things. More video game stuff as well.
And Descendants, but never mind.
No.
God.
I have not even watched that show. I don't even want to touch that show with a 10-foot pole.
I don't have a I don't have a choice. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and it's got Liv and Maddie, whatever her name is, in it.
Yeah.
I forget what.
I have an 11-year-old who loves Teen Titans Go. So.
Oh, my condolences.
I have a 13-year-old that loves it. So yes, video games. Well, we had said that yes, the DLC for Battlefront will be coming out, and of course you had started hinting at Infinity 3.0.
Infinity 3.0, which will be all Star Wars themed, or a lot of Star Wars stuff.
Right, but wasn't there something else about 3.0 that?
I'm sure. I'm thinking. It'll come to me.
Did it revealed the fate? Possibly revealed the fate of a certain character?
It might have. I'm not picking up on what you're laying down, Dave. You're just going to have to just come out with it.
Big Hero 6?
Ooh.
Oh, well, that was... I thought we were getting to that. I thought you were sticking to the Star Wars theme. I'm with you now.
No.
This is why I don't bother with
curveball,
emails.
Dave.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said you threw me a curveball.
Oh, okay.
But yes, Kingdom Hearts 3 is in the works, and will feature the entire... or probably most of the team of Big Hero 6 after the events of the previous movie and other villains related thereof.
Will it have the Stan Lee character?
There's one problem I have with this announcement, though, Dave.
What's that?
I don't know, but it will be set in San Fransokyo, and it'll have Baymax and Hero and all them. But San Fransokyo, that's the name of the town.
No, what's the one problem you have?
Oh, my one problem with it is it's slated to only be released for Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to upgrade.
Yes, you are.
To play this game.
Yes. It makes sense. The Kingdom Hearts started out on the PlayStation, so, I'm shocked it's even, coming out for the Xbox at this point. But
because Microsoft controls a lot of things. They can influence things.
Yes.
Although it's the PlayStation that's coming out with the version with Darth Vader on the side. So...
Yes. So all of those people who ran out and bought the Batman Arkham Knight Collector Edition PlayStation 4,
you are fools.
You're now kicking
Yes,
you're now kicking yourself because you're missing out on that Darth Vader Collector's Edition PlayStation 4. Oh, you're just going to buy both.
Isn't that a subtle
now
dig
with the Force.
at PlayStation 4?
Yes, they are equal.
Isn't that like a subtle dig at PlayStation 4?
Oh.
Like in the licensing talks, the lawyers were like, Oh, and Sony, here, you can make yours look like Darth Vader. Yes, yes. And the Microsoft one will, they can get something cooler. I mean, something else, right?
Right.
Wait, but nothing's cooler than Darth Vader.
Right.
Eh,
Give in to your
You know.
hatred and your anger.
And it makes sense because the PlayStation 4 is already black,
So is the
What?
Xbox.
Oh, that's true.
The only
Duh.
one that's not traditionally black is the Wii, the Nintendo units.
Yeah, that way you don't trip on it when you're like walking around and your daughter leaves it out on the floor at night. The other ones you wind up maimed.
Yes. But I do wonder what's the difference between, buying that unit and then just buying a Darth Vader skin to put right on my PlayStation
Yeah, it does
4.
pretty much look like a sticker. You should
Right.
be able to buy that as a decal.
Right, buy the decal and just buy the controller, the different colored controller. And that's it. Like,
But the controller
Why
says
make-
Star Wars. That's different.
right, I'm saying I'll buy the controller. I don't see the point of buying another system just because it has a Darth Vader sticker.
They should have
Because
made it light
Star
up.
Wars sound when it starts up.
They should have made it light up, and then every time you did like a combo in a fighting game, it said it should come out and say in Darth Vader's voice, "You don't know the power of the dark side."
You can
Well-
tell that it's on because it's constantly breathing like Darth Vader.
Yes,
That's
that's awesome.
That would just be annoying.
And then every time you put a Star Wars game in it, it goes, "Now feel the full power of this fully operational Death Star."
And you know when it needs to be serviced when it starts doing that like wheezy death rattle version of it.
That's the indicator that you need to update the software.
Right, there's a downloadable content that you're overdue to download.
And it says, "I'm afraid that the shield generator will be fully operational."
And if you,
I love the Family Guy episode when they broke this. They broke the code on how to do great dialogue in the third Star Wars movie. Something dark side. So yes, if it just did that, I'd be happy.
nice.
But we're missing a very important update from D23 though, Dave.
The new Guardians of the
Uh-oh.
Galaxy animated shorts?
That's not it. That is the thing that Dave prompted us with. But that is not the thing for which I speak.
Oh,
Completely glossed over the coolness that will be coming to us related to Star Wars in the real world.
The real world.
On
14
MTV?
acres. 14 acres of new
Oh.
of new theme park
Jinx.
at Disneyland and Disney World dedicated to Star Wars themed rides and exhibits.
And what are they knocking down to put that up?
Probably Toontown and other things that people aren't using or care about. But yeah, no, they're well in Orlando. They've got all the square footage that they want. They can just keep building and building and eventually take over the whole state, and no one would care. But
This is true.
But the things that they're doing, they haven't talked a lot about the details of some of the rides, but they accept that they'll have like missions that you could do where you're flying as like the pilot of the Millennium Falcon, and adding additional, like they have in Florida, they're putting it in the Hollywood Studios section. That part is where they'll be adding additional things. Where they already have Star Tours and they already have the Jedi Academy there, so they'll be adding additional Star Wars things there.
I've actually been on Star Tours. It was really good.
It was really good, and they're adding an additional planet to fit in with that from The Force Awakens into that ride as well.
And 2 extra barf bags per seat.
Yes, but
I would also imagine since American Idol is going off the air, they can get rid of the American Idol experience.
they'll give it a few more years. The World of Tomorrow Epcot ball still takes people on rides in that thing, and that thing's been outdated for decades.
You mean them ending with
You know what I'm talking
Steve
about?
Jobs inventing the computer?
Right.
Oh,
is outdated? No.
And he will go on inventing things forever.
or at least his brain will.
Did you guys lose me again?
No. I mean, yes. I mean,
Yes. So
lost opportunity.
So yeah, they're adding all these new rides. Yes, they're adding all these new rides. they'll also be doing apparently some Star Wars themed weekends in early 2016, where they'll be hybridizing some of their existing rides. So Space Mountain will become Hyperspace Mountain, and various other.
And
That
10
sounds
years
awesome
from
to
now,
me
it'll be
personally.
Super Omega Mountain.
I mean, they're making it Star Wars themed. They're going to change the sound effects and the lighting effects in Space Mountain to fit with Star Wars. Tell me you wouldn't want to go on that ride.
What's the roller coaster that has like Bigfoot or not Bigfoot, the abominable snowman at the end?
Everest?
Right, they can just change that
Hoth?
to the
Make that Hoth?
yeah, Hoth, yeah, and the Wampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They can do a bunch of things.
it writes itself, people.
It does. Really true. It does.
Because they do Star Wars weekends already. And my brother's gone to a couple of them, but it's like he's like, yeah, they have stuff set up in the whatever the Hollywood themed park is.
They can change the Bug's Life ride to a Gungan's Life.
But he's like he said the main difference that they really do is there's a couple of the actors that are walking around and they sign autographs and stuff, and they set up like a tent town outside of the park, which is basically where they're selling different Star Wars souvenirs. I'm like, well, that seems silly. So, but this sounds like they're doing it. You know, they're getting more involved with it now. So, yes. So I might have to go.
Right.
Damn it, Disney. Once I thought I was out, they sucked me back in. Oh.
Yeah. We will have to take our children again.
Yes. Well, eventually they're just going to own us, so it's not going to matter.
True. So, along the lines of Disney owning so many things, John, I remember you mentioning something about a Guardians of the Galaxy animated series.
Yeah, and I did not know this existed until 2 days ago when I started.
Wait.
I tape.
Wait.
Was what?
Wait,
what?
Are you telling me right here on this show, in this episode, that until 2 days ago you were not aware that a Guardians of the Galaxy animated television show was coming to Disney XD?
Do you have any idea how much anime I've watched in the last 2 weeks?
John,
John,
we interviewed two of the voice actors from the show. And you were there for both of them.
Oh. Oh.
Am I wrong about that, Dave? Wasn't he there for both of those?
Oh.
Yeah, so Trevor and David, I apologize now. John drinks. That's all I can say.
It'd be one thing, John, if you weren't on the episodes. Like, you just sort of... Because we know you don't really listen to the show. But... you were there.
Well, things slip by. I'm old.
They talked about it. They talked about this upcoming show.
Yes. Remember, Trevor told us it's the first time that a cartoon leads right off from where the movie left off, picks up right where the movie left off.
I remember that, Dave.
Yes.
I wasn't even there.
Yes. So everyone listening, to get ready for the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon, go back and listen to episodes 103 with Trevor Duvall and episode 105 with David Sobolov playing
Drax.
Rocket Raccoon and Drax.
But here's the thing. I saw it. They had played one of them just before the Spider-Man cartoon that I taped.
Yes.
Even though I'm not really impressed with that anymore, I was like, I started the recording.
You mean you're not as big a fan as now that they're all living on the helicarrier and just becoming a weird Avengers-esque team of their own?
Look, the only reason I watched that is because Squirrel Girl is in it. That's the only reason now. I mean, I'm not really. There's corny jokes, and then there's just I spent all my time last week doing Blue Exorcist and Sword Art Online. So.
Well, John, since you recently discovered this Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon,
do you have any interesting feedback that you can remember?
Do you have any interesting feedback? Do you know when the debut is going to be?
Well, it's already debuted on TV.
No.
It
premieres on the 26th of September.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, here it is at 9:30 Eastern Time on Disney XD.
They have a little teaser of Star-Lord's sort of origin.
Yes. Right after he got picked up.
Yes.
And that's the part that I saw.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yes, they showed the teaser on D20 at D23, and they showed it on the Disney
I'm surprised
Channel.
they killed him off so quick. Well, the teaser ends
Yes,
with
they
him
show-
being sucked out into space.
there was a second half to that, John.
Oh, I
In
miss
the
a
second
lot.
half, Yondu picks him up with his whistle arrow.
Huh.
Yes, I mean it's interesting because it shows that stuff that was missing from the movie, like, well, what happened when the little kid was picked up by these aliens? You know,
Well, I
and,
got shit.
and-
They went right into Spider-Man from there, and I don't even like that. Damn it.
these clips you can see on D23.com, by the way.
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And some people need to start listening to this podcast that they're on.
While they're on it sometimes.
Yes, apparently. Oh my God.
What do you want? You know?
It's comedy gold, John. It's comedy gold.
Yes, yes.
You can't even make these things up.
This is what I get when I don't drink. Damn it.
So you have different sets of memories based on your alcohol intake?
Well, Jameson's seems to be good for artists, and then the Jack Daniels is good for like comedians. And when we're talking about animation, I really should be getting into the Baileys. So yes.
What will you be drinking on the 29th?
I don't know. Oh, but I did promise some scotch, some really good scotch. So
Because it's Mike will be there, an artist. Do you remember talking to Mike the first time?
Who's Mike? I don't like this water stuff. It affects me bad.
Oh my God.
Yes, I remember Mike, damn it.
Okay, good. Because that wasn't that long ago.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes, people. This is what we deal with all the time.
Yes.
Mike Manley. It looks like a larger, balder Peter Dinklage.
I worry for your coworkers, John.
Are you
You're
going to
selling it
insult
well.
all our guests?
Jesus.
Are you going to insult
What do
all our
you mean?
guests tonight?
Peter Dinklage is awesome.
Oh, well, whatever you're drinking on the 29th, it'll be probably something served by the lovely folks at Tattooed Mom. They do have a
Yes.
full collection of cocktails and draft beers and whatnot, and food.
Excellent.
So, my goodness. All right. Real quick before we wrap this up. I think it would be amiss if we didn't mention a little more detail about the disaster that is Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Here's the interesting thing. Like I was looking this morning at their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't even, and this is total gross. So this is worldwide. This is not just the American.
It certainly
numbers.
is gross.
They haven't even made back their budget yet. The budget was 120. They haven't. They just hit 100 million. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine they're talking about pulling it out by now.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
think it's generally isn't it up to the theaters when they pull these things out based on
that's
other
true
things
too.
coming in?
Right. I mean, if no one's buying tickets, the theater's not going to keep a whole theater open.
You know what's
Right.
really sad though? The Cinema Snob did a review of the original Roger Corman Fantastic Four, and it looked better than this one or any of the others. And that's the one that they purposefully killed.
Well, let's not talk about the one that was never released. I have a question. This is something that's been bothering me. I would say for a year now before they even released the movie, and I'm hoping one of you two might know the answer to this. So let's go back to 2005 and 2007, where we had the Fantastic Four and then Rise of the Silver Surfer. And both of those movies were box office successes. They were panned by critics, yes.
Right.
But the first movie was made for 100 million and grossed over 300 million. The second movie was made for 130 and grossed 289 million. So they both made money. Why did they decide to reboot the series at that point? Does anyone know? Like, I can't find any information on that. Just everything I read just says like they decided in 2009 to reboot the series.
That's a good question. Well, you know why the other two still made money? It's because Jessica Alba was in it.
Well,
Yes.
like
You
with
can't
this,
go wrong having a Mexican woman play a blonde woman.
Well, at least she had some personality. I mean, I like Kate
um,
Mara. She looked great when she got pushed in front of a train.
True.
um, but like with this,
That
but with
sounds
it, like,
horrible,
because
John.
No.
I mean, I know people will argue that they rebooted the Spider-Man movies, but that's because Sam Raimi walked away and then the entire principal cast walked away. So it would have been kind of difficult to continue on with completely different people. It wouldn't have made
Yeah.
sense. Like, I don't remember hearing of that all the actors walked away from the Fantastic Four movies. Yet
They just weren't
they,
renewed?
yeah, and the thing is, it's like the only thing I ever read was because they got bad reviews, and it's like, yeah, but they still made money. There's plenty of movies that get horrible reviews that they keep
Well,
making
you,
sequels
you know
to.
what the difference is? And in all seriousness, which I don't really do a whole lot,
Yeah.
but no, and I think Ben can back me up on this. Back then, they were the only game in town.
Right.
Now, it's like, okay, should I go see the new Fantastic Four movie, or should I see any one of these other freaking awesome movies that are much better than the rebooted Fantastic Four, which I've already seen twice?
Right.
That's got to be it's got to be like a big reason. Is like, when Silver Surfer came out, they were literally, were there any other superhero movies that came out that year, and were they any good? I mean, they came out in a desert. Now we've got
Right.
like, and you can, there's so many good things coming out now. They just, you have a choice.
Search.
Uh-oh.
But-
Ben is breaking
True.
up
Oh, he
again.
must
But-
have a point.
Yes. Fantastic Four. Yes. Of course this happens now. Fantastic Four, the first draft of it, not the Roger Corman version, the real version, came out in 2005. That
Right.
holds with a 27% tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes, with 46% of the audience actually liking it, and it made its money. I don't know what it competed against at the time, but I'm sure there were summer blockbusters in 2005.
Right, but no
Fantastic
superhero.
Four, I'm going to say maybe there were, but I can't say definitively. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer came out in 2007. Actually went up in rating both in the tomato meter and in audience score. 37% on the tomato meter. 51% of people score that they like the movie. And again, it made its money. So, and again, it was probably in a time when there were other movies up against it. The Fantastic Four, this one, is coming out towards the end of the summer, which is arguably not a great season for movies, but it's generally part of blockbuster season. It didn't have a lot of competition at the box office of other relative movies. The only other superhero movie in the theaters right now is Ant-Man, and that had already been out for nearly a month before this came out. So that wasn't what kept it from making its money. The other movies that people went to see instead were things like Mission Impossible and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and this past weekend, Straight Outta Compton. If that's making more money than the Fantastic Four, it's not about the flooding the genre.
Right. And I don't know. I mean, I keep looking at all the things leading up to this movie too. I mean, I think the most glaring thing to me was the budget for this movie was 120 million, where, I know that sounds like a lot, but in the realm of superhero movies with budgets right now, that's actually kind of low. And with when you look at the budget of Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, 130 million, compare that 2007 money for 120 is
Yeah.
actually like 100 million. So technically, they cut 30 million out of the budget.
So it's basically
You know, when
Sony
you look-
pulling a Fox.
No, it's Fox pulling a Sony.
Fox pulling a
Fox
Fox.
pulling a Fox is pulling a Fox.
Fox is pulling a Fox. Yeah, so it's I just, and again, and nothing against the movie Chronicle, it was a fun little movie, but it's the only movie Josh Trank did, and yet
Right, and I
get
feel bad for him in that respect, because I think that this is going to tarnish his record. Like, I don't think he's
Right.
necessarily a bad director. I think that he was dealing with forces outside of his control.
right, but I don't think he
Yeah.
was also the right choice either.
Well, considering that he was a new director, he probably didn't have a whole lot of enough pull to offset said forces that Ben mentioned. If they tried, because I mean, look, brand new director caught between freaking Fox and
Plus,
Marvel and whoever else and the lawyers and everything. And,
yeah, right. And I'm sure he had his version of what he wanted to do. Fox had the budget and had no oversight and could do whatever the hell he wanted to. I'm sure he could have made a decent version of a Fantastic Four movie, but having only had one other major, film under his belt, he's not used to dealing with big studios throwing their weight around and
every time
and shifting things to the way that they want.
Ben, you're in and out, man. Oh, Ben.
Sorry.
He's not used to them
I don't blame
shifting
Josh
their weight around.
I'm sure he has some fault in this. Hello, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
I just think he was underprepared to deal with the likes of Fox.
Yeah, right. So I mean, again at this point, I'm just kind of wondering. They saw now the deal that Sony has with Marvel, and maybe they were kind of thinking like, "Oh, we want a deal
Disney.
like that." Yeah, with Disney. Maybe they're thinking we want that kind of deal, but
putting this out isn't the way to get that.
No.
Well, that's true.
Not at all.
But maybe it's a saving face kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, now they're going to take a look at Sony and see the deal that they're making with Spider-Man and say, yeah, we're going to have to take that deal now too. And now, and we could finally have Wolverine versus the Hulk.
Well,
I'm not going to hold my breath for that one, John.
No. Though, who knows? We'll see. I mean, they're still doing okay with the X-Men, and of course, they've got the Deadpool movie coming out, which looks good. It's just they did not know what they were doing with the Fantastic Four this time around.
I think we will have a Hulk versus Wolverine movie when my grandkids tell me about it. When I'm too old to go see it myself.
Yes, but when it can be projected holographically right into your brain.
Exactly.
And it'll be cool.
Yes. And it'll only
Which will
cost
drive me into
$20,000.
a fever dream where I'll try to slice everything up with kitchen knives.
All right. Well, I think that's
everything,
a good place to
not
end
people, thing.
Yes. People are things, though.
I'm sure that's what you meant.
People.
All right. So, I think on that note, before Ben goes into his murderous rampage, to make yourself safe, ladies and gentlemen, as you're running away, don't let your cape get caught in the door. Have a good week.
Okay, now it's my turn. Okay, what are you doing? Taking over Dad's mic so I can be part of superhero speak. Duh. Well, there are better ways to join the conversation. Really? Like what? Well, you can interact with them on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and even Pinterest. Wait, people use Pinterest? And what's Google+? I don't know, something to do with circles. Anyway, you can also see all their posts, including comic book videos, on their website, where you can also sign up for their mailing list. Cool! Yep, are you still going to try to hijack Dad's mic? Nope, I'm going to try to answer the stump the key question. Nice. So who do you think would win in a fight between Rainbow Dash and Squirrel Girl? Oh, that's a hard one. Oh no, Dad's waking up. Run for your lives!
Oh, what are you guys doing? That cape's gonna get caught in the door.